define section. So what is hash define? Hash define, I want to declare pi value as constant, so I'll write pi 3.14. So this value will remain fixed during the entire program execution, and this value will not change till the program is executed. So in this program, for example, if I'm writing hash define pi, so here for a simple program, if I show you hash define pi, I'm sharing. Can you see my screen? A minute. So this was the syllabus. Okay, this was your syllabus. This is the presentation. So I'll be going from presentation to Word document to show you the example, right? So let us go with this one first. So what are constants? Constants are used in any type of programming language whose value is fixed. Then value fixed untundi. You cannot change the value during the execution of the program. Okay, so there are two types of things you have to remember. One is called as variables, one is called as constants. So now we are talking about constant. So constant will never change, it will remain same once the program execution starts. Means what? Its value remains fixed. Its value remains fixed during the execution of the program. Later, after executing the program, you can change its value later, right? So to declare a constant, you're going to use constant keyword, C-O-N-S-T, const keyword, right? So there are two ways to declare a constant. One is using the constant keyword. One is using the hash define pi. So this is called as definition section. A definition section in C program. Okay, means what? Whenever you're writing a program using this definition section, this value of pi will remain the same. For example, let me show you a simple program. I'm writing hash define pi. So I'm taking void main, right? Int space r is equal to 3. I'm taking its radius as 3 and I want its area, right? So I'm writing the formula area is equal to pi. So what is pi value here? 3.14. So I'll just write it as 3.14 into r into r. This is the formula of finding the area of a square. So you're going to print the value of this area, that is printf. The area is percentile d comma area. Is that clear? You need to respond in between. If you're not able to hear me, you have to please tell me that you're not able to hear. If you're having any doubts, you can ask. Do not wait till the end of the session. You can just message there. Okay. So in two ways, we are going to define constant. So what do you mean by constant? Constant is a fixed value that does not change during the execution of the program. So if you want to change it only after executing the program, you can change it for the next time, right? So there are two ways to define a constant. One is using the keyword const, right? And the other one is using the definition section, that is hash define pi 3.14. So here I've taken the example of pi 3.14. Another example you can take hash. Another example I will take here. Hash define max. I want to identify the max of my class. Maximum strength of my class should be 50 only. So I've given max 50. So in this I'll write the program. Okay, about maximum, that is, it'll take only maximum 50 people, not more than that, right? So that is called as a constant. So here, for example, I've given here the same thing. So here I've taken a hash include stdio.h int main. So if I'm using constant, okay, keyword, so I'm writing float pi equal to 3.14. So I have defined this inside the program because I'm taking constant here. Whereas in this program, I have defined it above the main function in definition section. Okay, you all know the sections structure of C program, right? In that you are having definition section. So it will define the value of a particular variable, right? Next, again, there are two ways for declaring a constant. Now coming to types of constants in C. So actually there are two types of constants in C language. One is integer constant. So what do you mean by integer constant? So integer means, for example, I'm writing 1, 7, 8. So these are called as integers, right? Or we call it as decimal constant. Okay. We call it as decimal constant, right? The second type is called as floating type constant. Floating means what? Real numbers. So I'll write it as 1.3, 5.7, so on. Okay, 23.5. Okay, so integer means what? Numbers which are having decimal values are called as integer constants, and the way numbers which are having point values are called as floating constants, right? You can just see here. Here, integer constants in C represents whole numbers without any fractional or decimal components. So these constants can be positive or negative, and they are written without any double quotes. We'll go to double quotes later. Next, coming to floating type constant, they are called as real numbers with a decimal point, or we call it as using an exponential notation, that is fractional values, right? Again, these integer constants. So this integer constants here I'll show you. Right? Integer constants are again divided into three types. The first one is decimal constant. Just now we talked about integer constant. That is called as, also called as decimal constant. Second one is called as octal constant or octal number. So what do you mean by octal number? Can anyone tell? What do you mean by octal number? Octal ante enti? Yes. What do you mean by octal number or octal constant? So here you are writing from 0 to 9 is called as decimal constant or integer constant. Octal means it always starts with 0. For example, for decimal constant, I'm writing 1, 4, 5, 7. This is called as decimal constant. Okay. 1 minute. వినబడుతుందా మీకు? Yes, yeah. So am I going fast? Okay, I will show it. I'll show the program. If I'm going fast, tell me that I'm going fast. Otherwise, I will continue. Right? So coming to decimal constant, this decimal constant will be represented from 0 to 9 only. And you can have numbers 1, 4, 5 or 56. So it contains 0 to 9 only, 68, so on. For example, 0, 1 and pette, this is not called as decimal constant. It is wrong because octal constants will start with 0. Okay, if I want to represent octal constant, you are going to represent from 0 to 7. Octal ante enti? To the base 8. Okay, to the base 8. We call it as octal constant. So it identifies the numbers from 0 to 7 only. Example, I'm taking 01, 056, 043, right? These are called as octal constants. Yes, what happened? Sidhu. Who is this Sidhu? Okay, so these are called as octal constants. Next, you're having hexadecimal constant. Hexadecimal constant. Hexadecimal constant ante enti? To the base 16. ఓకే, ఈ బేస్ 16 బేస్ 8 అంటే ఏంటి? మనం బైనరీ డివిజన్ చేస్తాం, రైట్? మాడ్యులో డివిజన్ చేసేటప్పుడు దీన్ని 2తో డివైడ్ చేస్తాం డెసిమల్ నంబర్ని. ఆక్టల్ నంబర్ని 8తో డివైడ్ చేస్తాం, రైట్? హెక్సా డెసిమల్ నంబర్ని 16తో డివైడ్ చేస్తాం. సో ఇట్ ఐడెంటిఫైస్ ద నంబర్స్ ఫ్రమ్ 0 to 15. 0 to 15 ఎట్లా? Just here 0 to 15 it will identify the numbers, that is 0 to 9. Again here A is represented as 10, B is represented as 11, C is represented as 12, D is represented as 13, E is represented as 14, and F is represented as 15. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలంటే ఎలా చేస్తామంటే హెక్సాడెసిమల్ కాన్స్టెంట్ ని 0x అని అంటాం, ఆర్ 0 capital X. So if I give some number, identify which type of constant it is. అంటే డెసిమల్ అయితేనేమో 0 to 9 ఉంటుంది. All the numbers, it should not start from 0. So this is wrong. Okay. And it contains base 10. Its base is 10. Base is 10, right? Coming to octal constants, its base is 8. It is going to identify the numbers from 0 to 7. And it starts with 0 only, right? That time we call it as octal constant. When do you call hexadecimal? If it is to the base 16, right? And it identifies numbers from 0 to 15, that is 0 to 9, A vachesi 10, B 11, so on up to F equal to 15, right? So you represent these numbers using 0x, small x or capital X. These are called as hexadecimal constants, right? Next, you are having the next type of constant is called as character constant or string constant. Characters ante entama, either small a to z or capital A to Z are called as character constants, right? So these character constants name antarante, if I'm going to write the constant like this, capital A, right? This is called as character constant. If it is enclosed in single quotes, then it is called as character constant. If I write like this, this is called also as a constant because small a to z or capital A to Z are called as characters. Or for example, if I put like this, so this is also called as a constant. And enti system anedi dini read cheyadu, right? It does not read it. It is going to treat it as a string or a character because it's having a single character here, right? This is called as a character constant. Next one is called as string constant. String constant ante enti? What do you mean by string? It consists of a set of letters, right? If it is set in double quotes, for example, I'm writing ABC double quotes. So this is called as string, right? For example, I'll write AB $1, right? This is also called as a string. Enclosed, anything enclosed in double quotes is called as a string constant. So in string constant, always the string ends with \0. ఎందుకంటే strings always end with null terminating character. So this \0 is called as null terminating character. So for example, if I ask you what is the size of this ABC, so by default the answer వచ్చేసి 4 ఇస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే null terminating character is also treated into this particular character. Is this clear? Right? Let us go to this presentation. I'll show you. See here. So here a character constant in C represents a single character enclosed within single quotes. So these are called as single quotes. Inside the single quotes, you can store integers, you can store special symbols, you can store letters, anything, but it should be a single character, right? String constants ante enti? String constants represent a sequence of characters enclosed within double quotes. So these are treated as a collection of characters and they always end with \0 to show that the string is completed, right? For example, let us go to this program. I'll show you a simple program here. Let us go to simple program. I don't have Visual Studio, I think, in my system. Visual Studio unda?
కానీ ఏమంటారు లేదు. C++ రాదు.
I'll try to open this Visual Studio. Okay, fine. Let us go to online compiler. See, in between, I'll be asking you all, you have to respond when I'm asking you all. Okay. So here, I'm writing the program. For example, here I'm taking char space A. Okay. Right. Next, I'm writing printf. మీకు ఆల్రెడీ సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఉండే అనుకుంటా కదా, ఉండేనమ్మా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? యూ హ్యావ్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్? So when you're taking characters, you have to take percentile C, comma A, right? Then I'm closing it. సియర్ ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే క్యారెక్టర్ తీసుకున్నానో ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ అయ్యింది. సో దీని క్యారెక్టర్స్ అంటాం, రైట్? సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూర్ టేకింగ్ అ సింగిల్ క్యారెక్టర్, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ \0 బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ సింగిల్ character. But in case if I'm taking double quotes, right, it is called world. Okay. So here, hello space world. So here if I take percentile C ఏమవుతుంది? I'll not get the output. I have to take percentile S. See here. Okay, ఇక్కడ array is correct. So here, the character what I've entered here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space is also a space. Is counted 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ తీసుకుంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ నేను 10 స్పేసెస్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను, రైట్? సో హియర్ యు విల్ నాట్ గెట్ ద అవుట్పుట్ బికాస్ here you see the program is executing correctly, but the initializer string for array of character is too long. Here how much I want? I want 11. So I'm taking here 11. That time my program executes. Just here. ఎందుకు ఇక్కడ ఎందుకంటే ఇది 10 ఉంది సైజ్, రైట్? I'm taking \0. So for this \0, it will going to treat that as a character. Okay. Next. So we have completed constants. Let us just repeat what is a constant. Constants are fixed values that do not change during the execution of a program. So to define a constant, you have to give the keyword called const. So C is or data structures is a case sensitive language. So you have to always write the program in small letters only, right? So to declare a constant variable, you use constant keyword. And the second one is by using #define. This is called as a definition section in C program. Okay. So this is the local program execution. For example, let me show you this program also. So just see this program. So this is a normal C program to read. Yeah. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ ఏం చేశాను, కాన్స్టెంట్ ఫ్లోట్ వాల్యూ పై వచ్చేసి 3.14 అని డిక్లేర్ చేశాను, రైట్? సో ఇక్కడ నేను ప్రింట్ చేసేటప్పుడు పై అనేది పిఐ అని తీసుకున్నాను, రైట్? ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ పిఐ, దిస్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు డిఫైన్ ఇట్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ యాజ్ 3.14. Is this clear? So here constant is used as this one, and one more you can use it as #define, right? Define is also one type of section. Pi space 3.14. So when I'm taking this is not required. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి. So here the same answer I have got. అంటే ఏంటి? 2 ways to define a constant, right? Next, after these constants, there are how many types of constants? There are actually 2 types of constants. One is integer constant and one is floating type constant, right? So what is integer constant? Integer constants are nothing but you are going to define it as integer numbers. So these integer constants are also called as decimal constant and they are declared using base 10. అంటే ఏంటి? దాని మాడ్యులో డివిజన్ చేసేటప్పుడు బేస్ 10 యూజ్ చేసుకొని చేస్తాం, right? So the numbers from 0 to 9 are called as integer constants. You can write any number like this. So this type of constants are called as decimal constants. The second type of constant is called as octal constant. So it is going to take divided by 8. You call it as base 8. So it identifies numbers from 0 to 7. After that, it does not identify the numbers. So whenever you want to identify that it's an octal constant, you have to start with 0. If it is starting with 0, it is called as octal constant, right? The third one is called as hexadecimal constant to the base 16. So it is going to identify the numbers from 0 to 15. That is 0 to 9. Next 10 is called as A. So on, F is called as 15. So if you're taking a hexadecimal constant, it should start with 0x. So small x or capital X. So this is called as hexadecimal constant, right? What is floating type constant? It is having decimal values, that is called as floating type constant, right? Next, coming to characters. So what is a character constant? Any set of characters represented in single quotes is called as a single character constant, right? Character constant. So you can represent numbers or alphabets or special symbols, anything in this one, right? It is going to print that exact answer as that answer, right? Coming to string constant, it is enclosed in double quotes. And here the null terminating character is also treated as one space. You have seen in the program, right? So you need not write it in the program. You can directly, by default, it is going to take it, right? Next, what is an expression in C? So we'll go to expressions later. Next, what are variables, right? So variables are nothing but, now let us see in a simple example. I'll show you in an example only. So what are variables? I'm taking int A is equal to 3.12, right? Sorry, 3. Int A is equal to 3. ఇక్కడ A వచ్చేసి వేరియబుల్, ఓకేనా? ఈ వేరియబుల్ ఎలా డిక్లేర్ చేయొచ్చు? I'm taking int A. So I'm writing float, right? I want to take some big name. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాను నేను? HELLO, ఓకేనా? HELLO is equal to 2.40. This is also one type of variable. Next, I'm going to take char space HELLO space WORLD. అంటే ఇదొక వేరియబుల్ అవ్వదు. Why? Because variables does not allow spaces. Okay. So what are variables? Variables are like a bag which is going to hold some data inside it. So what is the type of data? Any data which is of a different data types, right? It can hold integer variable, floating variable, const character variable, or double variable, or long variable, or short int variables, right? So what are variables? For example, some name I'm taking here. I'm taking some student's name here, right? For example, your class representative I'm talking about, okay? So who is your class representative? I ask you, what do you tell? You'll answer me some person's name. For example, here Pavani is there, okay? Pavani is your CR of your class. So what is she holding? She is holding the name Pavani. So inside that is, she is a CR of the complete class, 65 students, okay na? ఈ 65 students information Pavani hold చేస్తుంది, okay na? Like that we call here what is a variable now? Here variable is nothing but a variable which is of small case letters, right? It is like a container which is going to hold some value, okay? Now what are the rules for defining a variable? Okay na, manam rules variable simple ga define cheyalemu, right? Rules for defining a variable ante, it should not start with capital letters. It should not start with capital letters. అంటే ఏంటి? క్యాపిటల్ A to Z ఏది కూడా కంటైన్ చేయొద్దు. Okay, I'll show you some examples there. Next, it should not start with numbers. Next, it should not contain special symbols. It should not contain special symbols. So it can only contain one special symbol, that is underscore. Okay, na? Underscore. And it can start with underscore or any small letter. Okay, it can contain digits. Ante enti? Now I'll show you some example. Okay, for example, I'm writing HELLO hello 1. It allows. Here I have taken capital letter. So here, okay na, hello 1 తీసుకోవచ్చు. Next I can take hello underscore. Okay na. Next I can take underscore ABCD. Next I can take right ABCD underscore 1 2 3 4 ఇలా కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు, రైట్. Right, now just here, what is a variable? Variable in C language are like containers which is used to store the data that the program needs to process. మనం ఏమైనా ప్రాసెస్ చేయాలంటే దాన్ని స్టోర్ చేసుకోవడానికి మనం వేరియబుల్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాము. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద సింటాక్స్ ఫర్ డిఫైనింగ్ అ వేరియబుల్? ఇట్ ఈస్ డేటా టైప్ స్పేస్ వేరియబుల్ నేమ్. సో యూ కెన్ టేక్ int age, float salary. So here age is called as variable. Here salary is called as a variable. Char grade. So grade is called as a variable. And you can declare multiple types of variables, multiple variables of same data type. అంటే ఏంటి? X, Y, Z. I want to declare them as integers. So I'm taking them as int, right? Next. So what are the different? Now ఇక్కడ మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, what are the rules for defining a variable? Just I'll show you here. Yeah. Again, I've repeated just now. Names can contain letters, digit, and underscore. This is one rule. Second one is name must begin with a letter or an underscore. Okay. Names are case sensitive, right? Names cannot contain white spaces. White spaces ante em ledu, normal space, right? Dani blank space or white space antamu. Or it cannot contain any type of special characters. And variables cannot contain any types of data types. Int space int space fort atli ivalemo, right? So here I've given my variable. So here V is capital letter. So capital letters are not allowed for naming some variables. Now let us go to the C program here. So here, so what are variables here? Radius is a variable. For example, I'm taking radius area 1. Okay na, ఇది ఒక వేరియబుల్. ఇప్పుడు నేను రేడియస్ డాలర్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రేడియస్ డాలర్. నౌ here let us execute. So it will show you some answer here. ఏం ఎర్రర్ వచ్చింది చూడండి. Here radius dollar. So what it is going to show here? Did you mean radius? Radius is undeclared, right? So to declare it, for example, I'm giving here radius underscore, right? Here I'm giving radius underscore. Again, here I'm giving radius underscore. Now just see the answer. This area. Sorry. So here, the code is executed. So what are variables that are defined as constants? Okay. Don't talk about constants here again. Constants are different. Variables are different. Variables వచ్చేసి ఈ డేటా టైప్స్ ఉండలేవు, క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ ఉండద్దు, నంబర్స్ స్టార్ట్ అవ్వద్దు, ఎనీ స్పెషల్ క్యారెక్టర్ ఉండద్దు, వాటి మధ్యలో స్పేసెస్ ఉండద్దు. స్పేస్ అంటే ఏంటి? White space or blank space is called as a space. It should only start with small letters or underscore followed by any number of digits, right? It can also end with an underscore. Except underscore, it does not allow any other thing, right? So these are called as variables. Now after this, the different types of variables. Okay. So C language variables. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒక వేరియబుల్ ని డిఫైన్ చేసాము. దాని గురించి అది ఎంతసేపు మన ప్రోగ్రాంలో ఉంటుంది, దాని లైఫ్ టైం ఏంటిది, దాని స్కోప్ ఎంతవరకు. ఓకే, what it is going to store. Okay, normally we call the variable first type of variable as local variables. Okay, so here local variables in C are declared inside a function or a block of code. So here in the program you see, now here, so this variable float radius is used only up to this block. Okay na, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇంకొక బ్లాక్ వచ్చాను ఇక్కడ. So if I come here like this into this block, this variable radius will not be seen, will not be used by this particular block. So this is called as local to that block. ఎప్పుడు లోకల్ అవుతుంది, ఎప్పుడైతే మనం ఇలా డిక్లేర్ చేస్తామో. Here you are going to write like this. For example, here I am writing it here, void display int x is equal to 10 print x. So ఇదొక ఫంక్షన్. ఓకేనా, ఇట్ ఇస్ రిటర్న్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ద మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్. సో ఈ వేరియబుల్ x is equal to 10 అనేది ఈ బ్లాక్ వరకే యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ నుంచి బయటికి వచ్చాక ఎక్స్ అనేది వాల్యూ ఎంత అంటే మనకు ఐడియా ఉండదు, ఆ సిస్టమ్ కంపైలర్కి ఐడియా ఉండదు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ఇట్ స్కోప్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఎంతవరకు అది యాక్టివ్ ఉంటుంది, స్కోప్ ఎక్కడ వరకు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే లిమిటెడ్ టు దిస్ ఫంక్షన్ ఓన్లీ ఆర్ దిస్ బ్లాక్, రైట్. ఇట్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ద ఫంక్షన్ ఆర్ వైల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటింగ్ దిస్ బ్లాక్. ఇప్పుడు ఎంటైర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్లో నీ ఒక్కటే ఒక బ్లాక్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసేటప్పుడే ఈ వాల్యూ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. దాని బయట అది గుర్తు, దానికి ఐడియా ఉండదు ఎక్స్ వాల్యూ అనేది 10 ఉందని చెప్పేసి, రైట్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ లోకల్ వేరియబుల్. Okay, so their scope is limited to the function they are declared in, and their lifetime exists only as long as that function is executing. Okay, for example, let us take a simple example here. After everything I'll explain that. Next, what are global variables that are defined outside the function? So here I'll show you the example. So here what is the main function here? Int main. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు ఆల్రెడీ ఫంక్షన్స్ చేసి ఉంటారు కనుక void add అనేది ఒక ఫంక్షన్. ఇక్కడ నేను int a కామా int b, int a కామా int b ఇది ఒక ఫంక్షన్, రైట్. సో ఈ యాడ్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ 2 వేరియబుల్స్ ని డిక్లేర్ చేస్తుంది, రైట్. సో ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ దిస్ 2 వేరియబుల్స్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇది యూజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు దీని మెయిన్ బయట రాశాను గనక, రైట్, this a and b value will remain fixed in the entire program, right. So these are called as global variables which can be used anywhere, right, in the program execution, right. Next, here for example, just here I have written int global variable equal to 100. Okay na, int global variable equal to 100 అనేది ఈ వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూ 100 తీసుకున్నాను నేను ఇక్కడ. దాని తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఐఎమ్ కాలింగ్ దిస్ గ్లోబల్ వేరియబుల్ వన్ టైమ్, I'm calling the global variable twice. So every time I'm calling it, it is going to declare the answer as 100. Okay, so here entire program, it is available to n number of functions, right, exists for the entire duration of the program. This is called as a global variable. Next, static variable ante enti? Static variables, what do you mean by static? What static means what? Every time that page will be same. I'll tell you the example here. Static variables can be either local or global, but their key feature is that they will retain their value between function calls. అంటే ఏంటి, దాని వాల్యూ అనేది ఎప్పుడు సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ ఓపెనింగ్ అన్ అమెజాన్ వెబ్సైట్, డీల్ డే కాకుండా నార్మల్ డేస్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది, పేజెస్ ఎప్పుడు సేమ్ ఉంటాయి, రైట్. దే ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ స్టాటిక్ వేరియబుల్స్. హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ యూ ఓపెన్, దట్ మెనీ టైమ్స్ యూ కెన్ సీ ద సేమ్ పేజ్, రైట్. వాట్ డూ యు మీన్ బై డైనమిక్ వేరియబుల్స్? During deal days, their what do you say, their example ఎట్లా తీసుకోవచ్చు, డీల్స్ డే రోజు ఏం చేస్తారు, డిఫరెంట్ పేజెస్ వస్తాయి మనకు, డిఫరెంట్ డీల్స్ అనేది, వాటిని డైనమిక్ పేజెస్ అంటారు, రైట్. సో హియర్ void increment, I have written here static int count equal to 0, right. Next I'm doing count plus plus, means what, here I'm doing post increment operation, right. Next I'm printing the count value. So ఇక్కడ మనకు వాల్యూ ఎంత వస్తుంది, హియర్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ 1. ఓకే, సో వెన్ విల్ ఐ కాల్ దిస్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్, హియర్ దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఫంక్షన్ కాల్. ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ద ఫంక్షన్ కాల్, యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ద ఆన్సర్ as 0. సెకండ్ టైమ్ ఇట్ విల్ రిటర్న్ 1 బికాస్ దిస్ ఇస్ అ పోస్ట్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఆపరేషన్. ఓకేనా, సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము, స్టాటిక్ ఇంట్ కౌంట్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0. సో ద కౌంట్ వాల్యూ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ రిమైన్ 0 ఇన్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్. సో హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ యూ కాల్ ద ఫంక్షన్, that many times it retains its value and executes that particular function. Okay, this is called as static variable. right? So what is it? Scope, it's declared globally. They have global scopes. If they are declared locally, they are limited to the function, but retain their value across the function calls. It remains the same, right? So what is this? Lifetime exists for the entire duration of the program. Next, automatic variables ante enti? Without auto, right? These are called as automatic variables. నార్మల్గా ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లా నేను ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాశాను కదా, ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ని ఆటో వేరియబుల్ అంటారు. ఐఎమ్ రైట్ హియర్, సి ఆటో ఫ్లోట్ radius equal to 5. Here, where is the program? సో దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఆటో వేరియబుల్. అంటే ఏంటి, మనం నార్మల్ సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ అయితే రాస్తామో దాన్ని ఆటోమేటిక్ వేరియబుల్సే అంటాం బై డిఫాల్ట్, రైట్? సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆటోమేటిక్ వేరియబుల్స్. సో బై డిఫాల్ట్ all the local variables C are automatic variables. These variables are created when the function is called and destroyed when the function exits. అంటే ఏంటి, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ అయిపోగానే దాని వాల్యూ అనేది వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, రైట్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ఇట్ స్కోప్? సో హియర్ limited to the function or the block in which they are declared, right? Next, exists only during the function's execution. ఓకేనా, ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినప్పుడు దీని వాల్యూ అనేది 5 వస్తుంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ డోంట్ టేక్ ఆటో, by default this variable is called as auto. Is it clear? So how many types of variables are there? First of all, what is a variable? A variable is nothing but like a container which is used to store some particular values inside it, right? So what are the rules for declaring a variable? It should start with small letters or underscore. It cannot contain special characters or capital letters. It should not start with numbers. It can start with underscore or small letters. It should not contain spaces, that is blank spaces or white spaces. And it should not, it cannot contain any special character except underscore, right? So what is the syntax for defining a variable? Data type space variable name. So these are the examples for defining a variable. So a variable, multiple variables of same data type can be declared at once, right? So how many types of variables are there? There are 4 types of variables. How are we defining them? How are we identifying them? Based on their scope, their lifetime, and their storage classes. So here the storage classes are local, global, static, and auto. Local variables ante enti, aa okate block lo store ayyedani local variables antaru, right? So what is the syntax for defining a local variable? Sorry, what is the scope of a local variable? Ante limited to that particular block they are declared in, and lifetime is exists only while the function or the block is executing. For example, I say I am local from Kakinada. అంటే కాకినాడ వరకే నేను లోకల్, రైట్? బయటికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత నేను ఎవరికి తెలియదు. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ లోకల్ స్కోప్, లోకల్ వేరియబుల్, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్, వాట్ ఈస్ గ్లోబల్ వేరియబుల్? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఎవ్రీవన్ నోస్ విరాట్ కోహ్లీ ఆర్ ధోని, రైట్? హౌ ఆర్ దే? దే ఆర్ గ్లోబally known to everyone. So wherever you go, you can identify them. Okay, so they are called as global variables, where we can their values will remain fixed. Okay, their values will remain fixed and do not change during the execution of the program. So here you can see in the entire program they are available to all the function, exists for the duration of the entire duration of the program. Now what are static variables? Static variables example ante enti? For example, if you say all action movies will be done by this hero only, okay na? ఇప్పుడు బాలయ్య ఉన్నాడు, బాలయ్యని ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకొని నేను చిరంజీవి మూవీస్ తీసి ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది? సెట్ కాదు. సో దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ మూవీస్ షుడ్ బి డన్ బై దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ అంటాం. సో దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అ స్టాటిక్ వేరియబుల్ విచ్ ఇస్ ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ in the program. Okay, they do not change. So what are its scope? It is if declared globally, they have global scope. If they are declared locally, they are limited to the function, but retain every time they retain its own value, right? So it exists for the entire duration of the program. So what is automatic variables? Auto variables, right? If you're running, if you want to place a movie, any type of hero will suit into any type of program ankondi. So that is called as automatic variable. By default, I'm taking some person as a hero in my movie, right? Even if I declare he's a hero or not, we know that he's a hero. Okay na? So what is its scope? It is limited to the function or the block which they are declared inside. exists only during the function execution. ఆ మూవీ అయిపోయినాక వాడి పని అయిపోతుంది. మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ మూవీ వచ్చేదాకా we won't remember him, right? So that is called as automatic variables, right? We have done with the rules. Next you're having different types of operators. So what is an operator? Yes, what is an operator? Can anyone tell me what is an operator? Yes, anyone? What is an operator? Anyone? Operator ante enti? No one knows what is an operator? So what is an operator? For example, let us take a simple example. I'm writing A plus B. Okay, I'm writing C is equal to A plus B. ఎందుకంటే కంప్యూటర్ అనేది లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఆపరేషన్ తీసుకుంటుంది కనుక C is equal to A plus B అంటున్నాను. సో A B మధ్య ఏ ఆపరేటర్ ఉంది? ప్లస్ ఆపరేటర్. సో వాట్ ఆర్ A and B called as? Here A and B are called as operands. Okay, some operation performed on the two operands is called as an operator, right? So there are multiple operators actually. So by default we will call plus, minus, right, into, division and modulo division. వీటిని normal basic operations, arithmetic operations అంటాము. So what is an operator? Operator is nothing but a symbol or some operation performed between different operands. Okay, operands. So what are operands here? A and B are operands and plus is called as an operator here. Operator. So in our language, how many operators are there? This is very important. Remember this one, I'll show you with program. Okay, first type of operator is called as arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operators. Okay, so what are arithmetic operators? Let us just see here. I'll show you with the program. Yeah. So what are arithmetic operators here? Plus, minus, into, divide and modulo division. So if you are given a question, write a program to implement arithmetic operators. ఏం చేస్తారు అప్పుడు? మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే అప్పుడు arithmetic operations అంటే ఏంటి? There are 5 types of arithmetic operators. So here the 5 types of arithmetic operators are just here. What did I do here? I have taken 2 different variables here. Read the values of these variables. మీకు ఇవన్నీ తెలుసా నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. తెలుసా? C program తెలుసా తెలీదా? Yes. Yes, Ashwini. You all know C program. Yes. Okay, fine. So here what are we doing? Here these are called as variables. Okay, you are entering the values of the variables. Then I'm reading the values of the variables. Then I'm performing addition on them, subtraction on them, multiplication, division and modulo division. Right? So when I'm running this program, what will you get here? The answer. Where is error here? ఎందుకు రావట్లేదు ఇది? let me see. Yes. So it is taking actually here. I have taken double quotes differently. Let me check it once. Input చూడండి. So this is called as dynamic program. I'm taking 20 and 10. So first answer ఏం రావాలి ఇక్కడ? Addition of a plus b is I have to get 30. Here I have to get. Next, this one I will get. I'll get 10. Next year I will get. Sorry. Here I'll get 200. Here I will get 20 divided by 10 enta 2. And here I will get 0. See. 20. And b value is 10. Then same, you got the answer. So these are called as arithmetic operators, right? This is one type of operator. First one. So here, if anyone doesn't know what is modular division ante remainder is the answer. Normal division ante quotient is the answer. Next, second type of operator is called as comparison operators. Comparison ante enti? For example, I say you are greater than me, you are taller than me, you are shorter than me, right? How do we identify the relation between all of us? Either greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, less than equal to, or greater than or equal to. That is called as comparison operators, right? So this program, you can just check here. Okay, so here what am I doing here? I am entering the values of a and b. I am reading the values of a and b. Just in place of the operators, I am putting comparison operators. So again, I'm telling what are comparison operators? Greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, right? Greater than, equal to, less than, equal to are called as comparison operators, or we call them as relationship operator. Relationship operator to identify relationship between two people, right? Or two variables here. In our programming language, we call it as two variables. That is called as comparison operators. So I'm entering the values of a and b. A is 2, b is 2. Okay, I'm entering the values of a and b. A is 2 and b is 2. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, a greater than b, false. కనుక 0 వస్తుంది ఆన్సర్. బూలియన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ వస్తుంది. either true, false or 0 and 1, right? A less than b, again it is false because they both are equal. A greater than or equal to b ante, yes, it is greater than or equal to antunar. It is equal to, right? Next, A less than or equal to B ante yes. Is A double equal to B, not equal to. Equal to ante enti assignment operation. So double equal to B. So here A is double equal to B means yes, it is double equal to B. It is equal. Yeah, it is true. So answer is 1. Is A not equal to B ante false. So these are called as relationship operators or comparison operators, right? Let us go to the next type of operator. That is, what is the next type of operator you are having? Logical operators. Logical operators ante enti? For example, here I am taking is simple, ఇంకా సింపుల్ చేసుకుందాము. ప్రోగ్రామ్ని సింపుల్ చేద్దాం. So what are logical operators is here. You're going to write and, logical or logical not. ఇవి లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్స్ అంటారు. లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్ అండ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఏ అండ్ బి. మీకు గుర్తుందా లాజికల్ ఆపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఏ అండ్ బి అంటే ఏమంటారు? ట్రూత్ వాల్యూస్, ట్రూత్ టేబుల్స్ గుర్తుంటాయా? మీకు గుర్తున్నాయా మీకు? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? Do you remember truth tables of logical operators? A conjunction B, A disjunction B, A negation B. Yes, do you remember? Yeah. Let me, please, one of you unmute cheyandi. Yeah, Vijay. Vijay, can you unmute? Is it possible for you to unmute? Vijay, unmute cheyacha? No, you cannot be unmute, huh? Okay, fine. So what do you mean by logical and logical operators? Can anyone tell what is logical and? Logical and. ఇక్కడ దాకా మీకు క్లియర్ ఉందా? Yes? Mani Deepak. Mani Deepak, are you listening to my class? Message chay Mani Deepak. Mani Deepak, I'm asking. Is Mani Deepak there? Yes, Mani Deepak. Are you responding? Yeah. What do you mean by logical and operator? Logical and enti? Rekha Banu. Please, can you message me? Rekha Banu. Where is Rekha Banu? Rekha Banu vinatle. Yeah, Rekha Banu. What was the last topic I have told just now? Rekha. No, before that. Before logical and, what was that I told just now? What was the previous operator we have done? I have told two types of operators. What is the second one? That is the first one. I am asking second one. Okay, Mani Deepak, fine. Please, you all should not Google anything. మీకు వచ్చింది చెప్పండి. రేఖ సెకండ్ ఆపరేటర్ ఏం చెప్పాను? ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ అర్థమెటిక్ ఆపరేటర్, సెకండ్ వన్ ఏంటిది? Did you listen or no? Rekha. Okay. So what was the second operator that we have discussed? Yeah, Mani Deepak, fine. Correct. What was the second operator that we have discussed? That was comparison or relationship operator. మీకు మధ్యలో ఏమైనా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంటే మీరు మెసేజ్ చేస్తే. Okay. Okay, fine. So if you're getting any disturbance in between, please message me so that I can repeat it again. Comparison operators and enti, it is going to check the value between the two variables, either greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to. Fine. So those are called as comparison or relationship operators. Right. The third one is logical operator. So in logical operator, what does it do? Just see here. So there are three types of logical operators. Logical and logic. ఇది వచ్చేసి small. Logical is small and is capital letters. So here it is going to represent as and double ampersand. ఓకేనా? సో ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తుంది and అంటే a and b two వేరియబుల్స్ ఉంటే దాని లాజికల్ and ఆపరేషన్ అంటే ఏంటంటే if you have to remember the truth tables here, as there are two variables a and b, so the total number of truth values you will get is 4. That is, here I'm showing you, I'm having a and b. So a's truth value, for example, if I'm giving 0 and b's truth value is 0, right? It returns logical and ante em ledamma conjunction, right? A intersection b. So there are no common elements in a, no common elements in b, so the answer will be 0, right? Next operation is if a is 0, if a is 0 and b is 1, answer will be 0. In the third case, a is 1, b, in this case the output will be 0 again. So a is 1 and b is 1, then the output will be 1. So what is this called as? This is also called as conjunction, or we call it as intersection, right? Intersection operation. Intersection ante enti? Only if there are common elements in both the sets, the answer will be a intersection b. It has some elements in the sets. Otherwise, it is 0. It does not contain anything. That is called as logical and. Coming to logical or, right? Logical capital OR. Fine. So you represent it like this. Okay, this operator. So if I write a logical operator b, a logical operator b ante ikkada em avutundi? It is similar to union. Can someone show me the truth table here? It is called as union or disjunction. Manaku maths lo untayi sets, union or disjunction. So can anyone tell me the answer here? So what is disjunction of a and b? A or b? Anyone? Disjunction of a or b. What will I get? Someone should show me the answer here. So here, if a is 0 and b is 0, so what is the answer? There are no common elements, so 0, right? Next, if a is 0 and b is 1, so either the elements of a or the elements of b it contains, the answer is 1. Next, a is 1 and b is 0, it contains either or elements of a or b, so the answer is 1. Next, if a is containing 1 and the b is having 1, the output will be 1, right? This is called as logical or operator. Next, logical, last operator enti logical not operator. Not ante enti? You can represent it as exclamatory mark or ఇప్పుడు ఇందులో రాదు కనుక నేను చెప్తున్నాను రివర్స్ టీ. ఓకేనా? టీకి రివర్స్ ఉంటుంది కదా, రివర్స్ టీ. ఆర్ వీ కెన్ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ దిస్ వన్, స్లీపింగ్ లైన్ ఎస్. ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది చూడండి, ఈ స్లీపింగ్ లైన్ ఎస్. దీస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ లాజికల్ నాట్ ఆపరేటర్స్. సో లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్ నాట్ ఆపరేటర్ అనేది ఒకటే వేరియబుల్ పైన ఉంటుంది, రైట్? హియర్ ఇఫ్ ఐ రైట్ a is 0, so logical not of a is reverse, that is 1. If I say a is 1, right, the logical not of a is how much? 0. Is this clear? So how can you take this logical operator ante? For example, I am writing a and b negation of A and B. Logical not. So we call this one logical not or negation. Negation. అంటే ఏంటి? ఒకటి ఆన్సర్ మనం ట్రూ అంటే అది ఆన్సర్ ఫాల్స్ ఇస్తుంది, ఫాల్స్ అంటే ఆన్సర్ ట్రూ ఇస్తుంది. సో దీస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్స్, రైట్? సో లెట్ మీ షో యూ దిస్ వన్. ఐ హావ్ మేడ్ ఇట్ లిటిల్ కాంప్లికేటెడ్. I'll remove that. We'll go with simple one. We'll go the normal simple programs here. I am writing print of A and B is A and B. Okay? If you are leaving the meeting, నేను అడిగినప్పుడు మీరు ఆన్సర్ చేయాల్సిందే. ఓకే? Don't say that you are not there. It is your responsibility to listen to the class. Next, here I am taking A or B. The third one is negation. Negation of A and B. Okay, na? Here I am taking negation of A and B is percentile D of negation of A and B. Right? So these are the different operators that you have in logical operators, right? Now just here, I'm giving the value of A as 2 and B is 3. So here you just see A and B is 1. ఎట్లా వచ్చింది 1 ఎవరని చెప్తారా? You identify this one. How we got 1, 1 and 0. Okay, na? Okay, this is logical OR operator. Next one, let us go to the next operator. So there are totally how many operators? There are 8 operators. Okay, na? So we have done with arithmetic operator. Second one is comparison or relationship operator. Third one is logical operators. So చూడండి ఇక్కడ different programs ఇచ్చాను. So you can take logical operator here or AND operator or NOT operator. The next one is called as assignment operator. What do you mean by assignment? Assignment is nothing but equal to symbol is called as assignment operator. So మనం ఒకటే తీసుకుంటామా అంటే కాదు. Here there are different types of assignment operators, that is just here. We call A equal to 2. So I'm assigning the value of 2 to A. Next, this is called as assignment operator. So there are different types of assignment operators. They are also called as shorthand operators. So what are these shorthand? This is very important question. Explain shorthand operators ante plus equal to is one shorthand operator, minus equal to is one shorthand operator, into equal to is one shorthand operator, divide equal to is one shorthand operator, modulo division is equal to one shorthand operator. Ante enti? Just see here. I'm taking A plus equal to B. How can we write it also as? Someone tell me the answer. How can we write this answer? A plus equal to B ante enti? Fast ga. Someone has to respond. A compliment for not. Yeah. What do you mean by A plus equal to B? Yeah, very good, Navya. A is equal to A plus B. ఎవ్రీవన్ హ్యాస్ టు రెస్పాండ్. మీకు ఆప్షన్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వాలమ్మా, రైట్? సో జస్ట్ మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ, ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ హియర్. ఇదే సేమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను నేను. Yeah, just here I'm taking okay, here I'll change it. Here I'm taking a percentile d comma a plus equal to b. ఇది ఒకటే చూపిస్తాను చూడండి, మిగతా మీరు చేయండి. a minus equal to b, a into equal to b, a divide equal to b, and a modulo division equal to b, right? So it's asking a plus a and b values. సో ఇక్కడ ఏం రావాలి, a is equal to a plus b అంటే ఏ వాల్యూ ఎంత అవుతుంది, a is equal to 6. ఈ 6 అనే వాల్యూ కిందికి వెళ్తుంది. a is equal to a minus b అంటే a is equal to 6 minus 4 వస్తుంది. The answer will be 2. So here a will be 2 here in this case. So I'm writing it here because a is equal to a plus b అంటే 4 plus 2, the answer is 6. సో అప్పుడు మనకి a వాల్యూ అనేది 6 అవుతుంది, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ in this case 6 minus 4 it will become 2. In this case, again, 2 into 4 is equal to 8. In this case, 8 divided by 2 equal to 2 4s, so the modular division is 4. 4 divided by 2, 4 equal to 0. This is the answer you have to get. 2 and 4 if I take. 2 and this is 4. So here. 6, 2, 8, 2, 2 వచ్చింది, సారీ 4 2s are రిమైండర్ వచ్చేసి 2 వస్తుంది, రైట్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ షార్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ఆపరేషన్. ఓకే, ఈ ఆన్సర్స్ ఇక్కడ నేను స్లాష్ అని ఇవ్వలేదు కనుక అన్ని ఒకటే లైన్లో వచ్చాయి. యూ హావ్ టు గివ్ స్లాష్ అండ్ హియర్, రైట్? గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ ఆపరేటర్. ద నెక్స్ట్ ఆపరేటర్ ఇస్ వాట్? సో యూ హ్యావ్ డన్ అర్థమెటిక్ ఆపరేటర్, comparison or relationship operation, logical operators, and shorthand or assignment operators are also called as shorthand operator. What is assignment operator? And only equal to is called as assignment operator. So you'll be given a question, explain shorthand operators and plus equal to, minus equal to, into equal to, divide equal to, right? Next operator is the increment or decrement operator. So here increment operator is of two types. One is pre-increment increment operator. Here are of two types. One is pre-increment operator and second one is post-increment operator. What is the difference between these two? Pre-increment ante you have to represent it as plus plus a. Post-increment ante enti? A plus plus. So what is the difference between these two ante? So here in pre-increment, the first plus is to increment. First plus is to increase the value. Okay, increase the value of the variable, right? And second plus is to assign the value to the variable. Okay, na? Is used to assign the value to the variable. Ante enti? For example, I am writing a is equal to 5. What is plus plus a అంటే ఏంటి? ఆన్సర్ ఏమొస్తుంది? 6 వస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ ప్లస్ అనేది ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అవుతుంది, సెకండ్ ప్లస్ అనేది అసైన్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇఫ్ యూ డూ ద ప్లస్ ఇట్ విల్ బికమ్ 6 అండ్ సెకండ్ టైం ఇఫ్ ఐ రైట్ ప్లస్ ప్లస్ ఏ ఇట్ విల్ బికమ్ it will show the answer as 6 only. Whereas in post increment operator, the first increment is for assigning the value to the variable. This is used for assigning value to the variable, while second plus is used to increment the value of the variable. How many times? Plus ante em ledu, a plus ante enti, a is equal to a plus 1. Plus ante endi, a is equal to a plus 1. Increment one time. Okay na? For example, here again I'm writing a is equal to 7. If I write a plus plus, so after the first increment a will be 7. After the second increment a will become 8. Okay na? Let us go to the program here. Now just see this program. In this program, now just see. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాను? I plus plus అన్నాను. ఓకే, now just here I am taking the value of I is equal to 10. So here I have taken I is equal to 10. Print the value of I first ఎంత ఉంది? 10. ఓకేనా? I plus plus అయింది. I plus plus అంటే ఏంటి? అసైన్మెంట్ దెన్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్. ఓకేనా? ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ అసైన్ అవుతుంది, దాని తర్వాత ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఐఎమ్ ప్రింటింగ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ ద సెకండ్ టైం ఆఫ్టర్ అసైనింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ again after this pre-increment I am printing the value of the variable. It is going to become 7. మీకు ఇక్కడ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వచ్చు. Here I'll write like this. Plus plus I. First let us complete this one, then we'll go for I plus plus. Let us run this program. So here. So what was I plus plus? ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఫస్ట్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ I is ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి మనకి I వాల్యూ 10 అని ఇచ్చింది. ఆఫ్టర్ ద ఫస్ట్ ప్రీ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ I is becoming 11. నెక్స్ట్ అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ ద సేమ్ స్టేట్మెంట్. Some terminating character, where is missing? Where is error here? Value 5. Where is error here? Here. Okay, plus plus కదా. Yeah, okay sir, చూడండి. So here I am taking the value of I first of all. I am incrementing the value of I. This is for incrementing. The second step is for assigning. Okay na? Now just here. Now after increasing 1 unit, it will become 11. Here you'll understand the difference. I'll write I plus plus. So here I plus plus ఏమైంది ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ 11 ఉండే రైట్. ఈ సెకండ్ I ప్లస్ ప్లస్ దాంట్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ ఫర్ అసైనింగ్, second one is for incrementing. This is called as plus plus I and I plus plus. So what is plus plus I? It is called as pre-increment. And what is I plus plus? It is called as post-increment. In pre-increment, first the value is incremented, then the second plus is for assigning. Whereas in post-increment, the value is assigned first and then the value is incremented. That is called as pre-increment and post-increment operation. Okay, so the other type of operator is called as decrement operator. Decreasing ante enti? Decreasing value తగ్గించడాన్ని decreasing అంటారు. So like pre-increment you have pre-decrement and like post-increment you have post-decrement operation. Right? Let us run this one also. Now see here, I have given the value as 10. After pre-decrement it is becoming 9. After post-decrement it is remaining the same 9. Is this clear? మీకు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి. చూడండి ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ నేను పోస్ట్ డిక్రిమెంట్ చూసాను. ఐ హావ్ గివెన్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఐఎస్ 10. ఇట్ ఈస్ రిమైనింగ్ ద సేమ్ బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ పోస్ట్ డిక్రిమెంట్. అంటే ఏంటి, ఈ ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్లో అసైన్ అవుతుంది, సెకండ్ స్టెప్లో డిక్రిమెంట్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ నేను ప్లస్ ప్లస్ ఐ మైనస్ మైనస్ ఐ ఇచ్చాను ఇక్కడ. సో హియర్ ఆటోమేటికలీ ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ విల్ డిక్రిమెంట్ దెన్ అసైన్. సారీ, నో జస్ట్ హియర్ ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది చూడండి. ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇట్ ఇస్ 10 ఎందుకంటే ఇది 2 times అవ్వాలి. ఫస్ట్ టైం వచ్చేసి 10 ఉంది, సెకండ్ టైం 9 అయిపోతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్గా. రైట్, వీఆర్ నాట్ కాలింగ్ ఇట్ హియర్. సో ఆటోమేటికల్ 9 అవుతుంది. సో ప్రీ డిక్రిమెంట్ ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, 9 will become to 8 and it is going to display the answer as 8. So here you can see clearly what do you mean by pre decrement or post decrement operation. Clear? Next, go to the next operator. What is the next type of operator? That is bitwise operator. So these are very important operators. Okay na? So just listen clearly. What are bitwise operators? You are having bitwise AND operator, bitwise OR operator, bitwise exclusive OR operator, right? Bitwise left shift operator, bitwise right shift operator, and bitwise NOT operator. Okay na? Idi chala important. సో లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్కి బిట్వైజ్ ఆపరేటర్కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి అంటే, ఇప్పుడు నేను లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్లో ఏ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 2, బి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3 తీసుకున్నాను. సో ఏ అండ్ బి అంటే సేమ్ ఉందా సేమ్ కాదా చెక్ చేసుకుని ఆన్సర్ మనకి రిటర్న్ ఇస్తుంది. వేరాజ్ ఇన్ బిట్వైజ్ ఆపరేటర్స్ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపన్ ఈస్ ఏస్ వాల్యూ, డెసిమల్ వాల్యూ విల్ బి కన్వర్టెడ్ టు బైనరీ వాల్యూ. వాట్ ఈస్ ద బైనరీ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఏ? Someone respond fast. Someone respond fast. What is the binary value of A? Binary value of A. Sorry, A is equal to 2. Binary representation enti? What is the binary value of A is equal to 2? Yeah, 1 0. So here I am taking A is equal to 1 0 and B is equal to 3, which is equal to 1 1. So how it will find 1, first one and first one is 1 and 1. So here 1 bitwise and 1 ante 1, comma, next 0 and 1. So you are doing here conjunction. 0 and 1 means what? 0. So the answer will be 1 0 again. So here the answer chudandi ikkada, answer will be 1 0. Again this binary value will be converted to decimal value, so it will become 2. This is called as bitwise AND operator. Okay na? Similarly bitwise OR operator ante, again I'm taking A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. So when I'm taking 1 0, so and 1 1, you can just calculate here 1 or 1 is nothing but 1, again 0 ఆర్ ఇక్కడ మీరు ఆన్సర్లో చూడాలి మళ్ళీ ఆర్ 1 ద ఆన్సర్ విల్ బి 1. సో దిస్ ఇస్ బిట్ వైజ్ ఆర్. ఓకేనా? బిట్ వైజ్ ఎక్స్ఆర్ అంటే ఏంటి చెప్పండి? వాట్ యు మీన్ బై బిట్ వైజ్ ఎక్స్ఆర్? So here please try to understand. I did not put the truth tables here. A and B I am taking. So what is a bitwise exclusive OR ante? 0 and 0. Bitwise exclusive OR 0 ante enti? It returns 1. The truth table for exclusive OR ante entante? If both the values are same, it will return 1 as the answer, otherwise 0 as the answer. 0 exclusive OR 0 ante 1. 0 exclusive OR 1 ante 0. 1 exclusive OR 0 ante 0. 1 exclusive OR 1 is 1. Remember this one. This is the truth table for this one. Is this clear? So 0 or 0 is 0. 0 or 1 is 0. 1 or 1 is 1. This is called as bitwise exclusive OR. Okay na? So if I write here A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. So what is bitwise exclusive OR? Someone tell me. A is how much? 1 0. B is equal to 1 1. So here I will take 1 exclusive OR 1. The answer is 1. Again 0 exclusive OR 1. The answer is 0. So what is the answer here? 1 0 is the answer, which is equal to 2. This is called as bitwise exclusive OR. Next, coming to left shift operator. Left shift operator. Again, I'm repeating here. This is very important. I'll ask one of you. Left shift operator ante దీని ఫార్ములా వచ్చేసి n into 2 to the power n. n into 2 to the power n. అంటే జస్ట్ సింపుల్గా రిమెంబర్ చేసుకోవాలి ఏంటంటే మన కంప్యూటర్ మన సి లాంగ్వేజ్లో సి కంపైలర్ వచ్చేసి డేటా వచ్చేసి బిట్స్లో స్టోర్ అవుతాయి, రైట్? బైట్స్లో స్టోర్ అవుతాయి. సో వాట్ ఈస్ 1 byte ఈక్వల్ టు? 1 byte ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 8 bits. సో వెన్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ లైక్ దిస్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ 10. Sorry, not 10. Let me take 12. So what is the binary representation of 12? It is 1 0 1 0. Antena? 2 6 are 12. 2 3s are 6. Sorry, 1 1 0 0. The answer is 1 1 0 0. So here there are 4 variables. Okay na? So our C program will store the data in the form of bytes. That is 1 byte equal to 8 bits. Okay na? ఈ 8 bits ఎలా స్టోర్ చేశాను నేను ఇక్కడ? ఫస్ట్ నేను 12ని బైనరీ నంబర్లా కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను. దాని మిగతా ముంగటి నంబర్స్ వచ్చేసి ఏమి లేకపోతే వాటిని జీరోస్ పెట్టుకుంటాం. సో వాట్ ఈస్ లెఫ్ట్ షిఫ్ట్ ఆపరేటర్ అంటే, నౌ జస్ట్ సీ దిస్ వన్. లెఫ్ట్ షిఫ్ట్ ఆపరేటర్ మీన్స్ ఐఎమ్ సెండింగ్ దిస్ 2 zeros. ఓకే, 2 times, బికాస్ హియర్ n ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 2 అని తీసుకుంటున్నాను నేను, రైట్? హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ n, దట్ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఐ హావ్ టు షిఫ్ట్ ఇట్ టు ద లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్. లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ అంటే ఏంటి? దీని ఆన్సర్ ఏమొస్తుంది ఆఫ్టర్ షిఫ్టింగ్? ఇట్ విల్ బికమ్ 0 0 0 0, right? 0 0 1 1. Is this clear? This is called as left shift operator. So what is the answer here? The binary number, sorry, the decimal representation is 1. Sorry, 3. Okay na? Right shift operator means you are going to shift that one number of bits, how many you want n value, that many times to the right hand side. So here I'm taking 12, right? Again the 12's constant value here will become 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0. So I'm going to shift it 2 times to the right hand side. So what will be my answer? It will become 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0. అంటే ఏంటి? ఈ నంబర్స్ రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. Is this clear? Yes. Sorry, this is left shift operator and this is right shift operator. Right, left and right shift operator, the same thing. We're going to shift the bits to the left hand side and to the right hand side. Okay, let us see the same program here so that you can understand. Left shift, right shift ikkada em pedtanu. Here I'm entering the value of A as 2, A is 2 and B is 3. It's here. A and B is 2, A or B is 3, A exclusive or B is 1. ఇక్కడ ఈ వాల్యూస్ తీసుకోండి మీరు చేయండి. ఓకే, యూ విల్ గెట్ ది ఆన్సర్. నెక్స్ట్ లెఫ్ట్ షిఫ్ట్ అంటే printf /n A left shift 2. Okay, I'm going to shift it 2 times to the left hand side is equal to percentile D comma A less than 2. Next here I'll take the same thing, printf /n A greater than 2 is equal to percentile D /n quotes A greater than 2. Run the program. Here I'm entering the values of A and B. A is 2 and B is 3. See here, you'll get like this. You take these values, try to execute this program. So what are these bitwise operators? There are 6 types of bitwise operators. And, or, exclusive or, left shift, right shift and not. Even if you do not or not, it's not required. Okay, if you do it or no, it's not an issue. Next, coming to the next operator, it is special operator. So what are special operators? Special operators ante there are 3 types of special operator: dot operator, comma operator and size of operator. Okay, size of రెండు కలిపి తీసుకోవాలి. size of operator. dot operator అంటే ఏంటి? మనం స్ట్రక్చర్స్ లో యూస్ చేస్తాం డాట్ ఆపరేటర్. ఏ డాట్ ఎంప్లాయీ నంబర్, ఎంప్లాయీ నేమ్ అనేసి. కామా ఆపరేటర్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇప్పుడు మనం ప్రతి ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి మనం కామా యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ యూఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యూస్ కామాస్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ కామా ఆపరేటర్. Okay, next the third one is size of operator. Size of operator ante enti? I'm going to take this program. What is the size of integer data type? One of you tell me what is the size of integer data type. What is the size of integer data type? Anyone? What is the size of integer data type? No one knows the answer? You're not Googling it. You have to tell me the answer. What is the size of integer data type? Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll show you how to convert 12 into binary. I'll show you 1 minute. No one knows the size of integer data type? Yeah, 4 bytes. సో ఇక్కడ ఒకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది మీరు, దేర్ ఆర్ ఇప్పుడు మన మొబైల్ ఉంది, ఓకేనా? 8 GB మొబైల్ ఉంది, 16 GB మొబైల్ ఉంది, 12 GB మొబైల్ ఉంది. సో మన సిస్టమ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో 2 types of different types of compilers ఉంటాయి. One is 16-bit compiler, one is 32-bit compiler. As of now, we only have 16-bit, 32-bit compiler. Next, we'll get 56, so on, 64-bit compiler. So, ఎప్పుడైనా కానీ మనం 16-bit కంపైలర్కి సైజ్ ఎంత తీసుకుంటున్నామో దానికి డబల్ వాల్యూ 32-bit కంపైలర్కి తీసుకోవాలి. అంటే ఏంటి? ఇప్పుడు 16-bit కంపైలర్లో ఇంటీజర్ వాల్యూ వచ్చేసి 4 bytes. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ టేకింగ్ అ 32-bit కంపైలర్ అంటే ఏంటి? మీ కంపైలర్ సైజ్ ఎంత ఉంది అంటే 32 bits ఉంటేనేమో అక్కడ మన ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేసి 8 bytes వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సిమిలర్లీ క్యార్ 1 ఇట్ విల్ రిమైన్ ద సేమ్, ఫ్లోట్ is 8, it will become 16, double means it will become 16 again, right? So I'm running this one. So here I want to see the size of my data types. To see the size of the data types, we are using size of operator. Okay, size of operator is used to see the size of the data type. For example, here I've taken int n. N is of integer data type. What is the size of n? What is int? N is int. So I want it in percentile d. ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు మనం క్యార్ అనేది పర్సెంటైల్ సి ఇవ్వాలి, కానీ మనకి ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ ఏం రావాలి, ఇంటీజర్లో ఆన్సర్ రావాలి కనుక నేను పర్సెంటైల్ డి తీసుకున్నాను, నంబర్లో రావాలి కనుక. క్యార్ is 1 data type, 1 byte, float is 8 and double is also 8 here. Clear? So size of operator ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామంటే to find the size of the data type we are going to use size of operator. Clear? Now let us go to this one, how to convert 12 or some number into binary number. How do we convert ante, just here I'm going to take 12 modulo division 2. ఇక్కడ నేను మీకు రాసి చూపడానికి రాదు కనుక నేను చేయట్లేదు. I'll show you 1 minute otherwise. పెట్టాడు. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూడండి, సో హియర్ ఐమ్ రైటింగ్ 12 modulo division 2 అంటే ఎట్లా చేస్తారంటే 12 divided by 2, రిమైండర్ ఎంత 6, రైట్. అగైన్ 6 modulo division 2 ఎంత, రిమైండర్ is 3. నెక్స్ట్ అగైన్ 3 modulo division 2 ఎంత, వాట్ ఇస్ ద రిమైండర్, యు గెట్ 1. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఇలా చూపించడం బెటర్. So here the remainder, what do you do? Sorry, here when you divide it to 6 ఇట్లా వస్తుంది. సో ఇది ఎట్లా చూపెట్టాలి మీకు, ఇది నేను okay fine, I'll show you later. I'll write it and paste it to you. Okay, I'll write it and paste it to you later. Fine, that is called as size of operator. The last operator, and it is very important operator, that is called as conditional or ternary operator. Okay, conditional or ternary operator. So what do you mean by conditional or ternary operator? Means just here you put a question mark, and colon. So it ternary operator, T-E-R-N-A-R-Y. Ternary operator is also called as if else of condition. What is the other name of if else ante? Ternary operator. Okay na? So what does it do? I'll show you in the form of a program. You just see here. I'm taking int a, int age. Okay na? So ఇప్పుడు మనం సింపుల్ if statement ఏం రాస్తాము, if age greater than 18 రాస్తామా, printf eligible to vote, else I'm writing printf not eligible to vote, okay. So how will you execute this program? Eligible to vote, and etla by default, sorry, here I have take printf enter age scanf percentile t comma and percent age. Okay, so I'm running the program. It is asking me to enter my age. I'm entering 3 years. So not eligible to vote. Next, ఇంకొకటి తీసుకోండి, enter age. Age is 16 years. Sorry, again this is not eligible to vote. Again, I'm entering the age 34. That is showing eligible to vote. So if else program. So దీని మనం టర్నరీ ఆపరేటర్లో ఎలా రాస్తాము? ఓకేనా? How will you write? I'll write it like this. Age greater than 18 question mark. ఓకేనా? టర్నరీ ఆపరేటర్ సింబల్ ఏంటిది? క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్ కోలన్. ఓకే, printf eligible to vote, right? Colon printf not eligible to vote. Okay. Sorry. So I'm entering the age. చూడండి. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ టర్నరీ ఆపరేటర్ అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అ కండిషనల్ ఆపరేటర్. Ternary operator is also called as a conditional operator, or it is an another name of if else statement, which is used to test the condition between two different expressions. Okay, between an expression, right? So here the expression is I want to identify the age of a person. If he is greater than 18, he has to vote, else he should not vote. So the symbol for ternary operator is question mark colon. So question mark will be in between the condition and colon will be in between the printf statement. So this is called as ternary operator. So we have learned about different types of operators. First one is arithmetic operator. Second one is conditional. Second one is comparison or relationship operator. Third one is bitwise operators. Next one is logical operators. Next one is increment operator. That is increment is pre-increment and post-increment. Next one is pre-decrement and post-decrement operator. Next is special operators. Next one is ternary operator. Now, I'll ask one of you. There are only 22 students in the class. Upendra. Yes, Upendra. Can you tell me what is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment operator? Difference between pre-increment and post-increment operator. Be fast. Yes. What does pre-increment do? What does pre-increment do? Upendra. Increases first, then assigns the value. Right. I asked Upendra. I want everyone to be attentive in the class. Next, I'll ask one more student, Sairam. Where is Sairam? Mic on చేయడానికి లేదనుకుంటామా? I don't know whether you have the option to on the mic. Sairam. I want Sairam to answer the call. Yeah. What do you mean by bitwise operators? How many bitwise operators are there? What are bitwise operators? Just tell me the symbols, bitwise operators. Okay, bitwise not. That's all. How many bitwise operators are there? Count. No. I want him to answer. Sairam. Sairam should answer. Sairam, please respond. Yeah, 6 bitwise operators. Okay. Fine. Let us go to the next concept. So we have done with operators. What is the next concept you have? So the same is in PPTs. Okay, I have not done all this in this one. Next, this is a simple one. How to manage the input and output in C language or in data structures. So here the different constructs for input are scanf, getchar, gets, getch, fgets, and fscanf. Right? What is the difference between the first four and the next two is that the first four are for normal C programs, whereas the last two are for files. Okay, when we are using file programs, write a program to copy one file into another file, read data from one file అన్నప్పుడు మనం f యూజ్ చేస్తాం. F means file gets, file scanf. Okay, so what do you mean by scanf function అంటే scanf is like a scanner which is used to read the values of the variables. అంటే ఏంటి, it is going to give the data to the system. Okay, it is used to give the data to the system to read it. Okay, second one is called as getchar. Getting means what? Getting the character from the keyboard, character by character, one by one character istam ikkada. Getes ante enti, reading the data from the keyboard as a string function. What is get ch again? Get ch is also get char, that is getting the character. This is from the keyboard, this is from the console. Okay, fgets means reading the file as a what? String. And this is reading the file using the scanf function. So what are the different output functions? That is printf, putchar, puts, fputs, and fprintf. So if you are giving fgets, you have to give fputs. If you are giving fscanf, you have to give fprintf. Right? So here, so what is the mean by input and output? Input means what? You are providing some data to the program to be used inside the program. Right? That is called as input. What is output? To display the data or for us to see on the screen, that is called as output. Right? Here I'm writing the int getchar function. Int getchar ante enti? It is going to read the integer. Okay, it is going to read the next available character from the screen and it is going to return the answer as an integer. So int putchar ante enti? If I give getchar, I have to give putchar. So this is the input function, this is the output function. So what is the difference? What is char means what? It is going to display the answer as a character by character. Okate character answer istundi, right? For example, here I've taken the C program. Just let us see this one. Now see this one. So here, I'm taking get char. Em enter chesanu? Some variable I'm entering. So what it is going to give you the answer? It is going to give you the first character as the answer. Characters ante enti? It reads all the characters. If you give putchar ante only the first character it is going to display as the output. It cannot read the remaining characters. So what is the disadvantage of putchar? It can read only one character, that is the first character, which is overcome by using puts function. Puts ante enti? It is going to read the entire string given by the gets function. Okay, so this is the program for getchar and putchar. Sorry, gets and puts function ante enti? It is going to read a line. From where will it read? It will read it from the standard input function till where? Till it finds the end of the character. What do you mean by end of the file or new line? Slash backslash n, sorry, backslash 0, till it finds it is going to read that particular character. And puts will print all the functions to the standard output function. So you're having stdin, std out. Stdin is for input and std out is for output. Right? So just see this program. Now see here, what did I do here? I have entered a string, a character as a string. Its size of the array character string is 100. Right? I'm entering the values. I'm reading the values here. You have entered. So I'm asking it what I have entered. ఇక్కడ గెటెస్ తీసుకోవట్లేదు అది. గెటెస్ ఫంక్షన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ టేకింగ్. వై? Not executing. So actually you have to give it like this only. Get the string and putting the string. So in the string, what is the answer if you get? For example, till I get like this. Here I'll show you. I'm writing, hello, how are you? స్లాష్ జీరో అంటే ఇక్కడ దాకా అది వచ్చేంత వరకు అది రీడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆర్ అ న్యూ లైన్ క్యారెక్టర్ ఇట్ విల్ రీడ్. సో బిఫోర్ దిస్, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ వాట్ ఈస్ గెటెస్ ఆర్ గెట్ సి అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ రీడ్ ద ఎంటైర్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కీబోర్డ్, బట్ పుట్ సి విల్ ప్రింట్ ఓన్లీ ద ఫస్ట్ క్యారెక్టర్. స్కాన్ఎఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? స్కాన్ఎఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ వచ్చేసి ఈవెన్ దాట్ విల్ రీడ్ ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్, దట్ ఈస్ క్యారెక్టర్స్, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ రీడ్ స్పేసెస్. అంటే ఏంటి? స్కాన్ఎఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? ఓన్లీ హలో యాజ్ ద ఆన్సర్ ఇట్ విల్ గివ్. Whereas getters function will read entire string till it finds a new line character or end of the file. EOF ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తాం మనము? ఫైల్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో if EOF, then you are going to terminate that particular file till it finds that end of the file. It is going to read that particular file. Is that clear? So that is called as input and output function, right? Here. So what are all these? Formatted and unformatted అంటే ఏంటంటే ఒక ఫార్మాట్, scanf కి ఒక ఫార్మాటెడ్ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? scanf is a predefined function which is included in standard header file. It is used to read the value from the keyboard. What is the syntax of the scanf function? Just here, scanf, control string, address operator, variables. So what do you mean by address here? Can anyone message me what do you mean by address? అడ్రస్ అంటే ఏంటి ఇక్కడ? Here I'm taking the control string, that is it can be percentile D, percentile F or percentile C or percentile LF or LD or anything. So here ampersand means it is used to store the address of the character variable or the address of the integer variable or the address of the floating type variable or long int variable. So this is called as formatted. అంటే ఏంటి? దీనికి ఒక ఫార్మాట్ ఉంది ఎలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలనేది. గెటెస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అన్ఫార్మాటెడ్ ఇన్పుట్ ఫంక్షన్ బికాస్ ఇట్ does not have any format. Okay, it does not have any format. That's why it is called as unformatted input function. Next, coming to printf. So whatever is given by scanf function, the printf program function will print it. So where is printf stored? It is stored in the header file stdio.h. Okay, so what is this? Is a simple C program to print the data. Okay, this is a simple program. Next, here you are taking integer, you are taking floating, and then you are reading them, and I'm printing the integer and floating point variable. Using what? I'm using scanf and printf functions. Okay na? Next, identi chudandi. Just let us take some small example. సో ఇక్కడ నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నాను? ఇక్కడ ఇంటీజర్ తీసుకున్నాను, ఫ్లోటింగ్ టైప్ వేరియబుల్ ఇచ్చాను. పర్సెంటైల్ 60 అంటే ఏంటి చెప్పండి? వాట్ యు మీన్ బై పర్సెంటైల్ 60 హియర్? up to 6 spaces it will take. Okay, up to 6 spaces it will allow. So that is called as percentile 6D. Now just here, so I've just given integer as 9876 and floating as 987.645. So here I'm asking it integer with the space 6 అంటే ఏంది? అది ప్రింట్ చేసే ముందు 6 స్పేసెస్ ఉండాలి, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఇట్ పర్సెంటైల్ 3D ఇంటీజర్. ఇక్కడ స్పేస్ ఎందుకు రాలేదు? ఇక్కడ స్పేస్ రావాలి. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ హియర్, ఓకే, పర్సెంటైల్ 0.2 అంటే ఏంటి? ఆఫ్టర్ 2 ఎండింగ్ ట్రైలింగ్ వాల్యూస్కి 2 ఎక్కడైతే అయిపోతుందో అక్కడి నుంచి పాయింట్ రావాలి, రైట్? Next, percentile floating. Floating means what? Rounding of the value. అంటే ఏంటి 9876 అని ఇచ్చాను. సో ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి 987.65 ఉంది. సో 988 అయిపోతుంది. If I want to round off that particular value, I am giving point f, right? Next, exponential format. What is exponential format? E plus whatever some expression it is giving, that particular expression you are going to give it here, right? So I just now told you about file getAs function. In files, we will use this. Okay, we'll do this in the next class. Sir is there? Sir? Sir, Nara? Navya or Renu, what is her name? Rekha. Sir, Narama? Someone respond, Amma. Who is a class spark? Sir, Lera? Now, how should we exit from the class? Will you ask sir to join or should I leave? Who is a class spark? Now, please ask sir. Rekha? See, tomorrow once we start the class, I will ask what we have done. Okay, in the last class. Then we will go for what's the next concept you are having? Decision making, that is branching and looping arrays. Decision making ante enti? 3 types of control structures untayi. One is conditional statements, one is repetitive statements, and one is jumping statements. Those are called as decision making or branching. Okay, we are making some decisions here by breaking them or branching them. That we will do tomorrow. Should I close the class, Aruna? Okay, Amma, we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. మీకేమైనా అర్థం కాకపోతే నాకు రేపు మీరు నాకు మెసేజ్ చేసినా చాలు. You can take my number. If anyone is not able to understand any concept what I told here, you message me to this number. Material I will share. You can message me, simply don't message. Some message if you are not unable to understand today's class. Tomorrow, sir will tell you. Okay? You can message me any topic, I will tell tomorrow. I will continue that tomorrow. Okay? Thank you.